So if you look at most law firm websites today, there is a blog section. And when you read through those blogs and when you look at the stats for those websites, you will tell that this blogging is done absolutely horribly wrong because it doesn't accomplish the main objective of the blogging, which is attracting the right prospective clients to you and converting them into viable opportunities to serve them. So why is it done so wrong? Or better yet, how to turn your blog for your law firm into one of the best business development tools in your practice. It's actually not as hard as you think, but just like you do due diligence for all of your clients, you also have to do some due diligence for your blog. Make sure that you have the right content strategy in place that helps you do the following two things: attract the right prospective clients to the website and convert them into viable opportunities to serve. Now, here's what you gotta do. First thing, you have to know that there are a ton of opportunities because there are way more people searching for answers to legal questions or to get information as related to their legal issues than there are hiring attorneys on any given day. So you need to be there to serve them. How do you do that? How do you organize that information? How do you prepare it? How do you do it fast and easy? Now, there's the content strategy. Number one, the strategy really encompasses a few things. You gotta make sure that you know exactly who you're writing that content for. And you may have various practice areas, like 3, 4, 5 different practice areas. You need to focus on your content for each of those practice areas. And it's not as hard as it sounds. But content has to be unique for each practice area because you're targeting different, or you're writing this content for different consumer of the content, right? So it cannot be just generic stuff all throughout your blog. It has to be specific to each group that you want to serve. Number two, you need to know what questions they have as related to the problems that you help them solve. Let me repeat that. This is like super important. You need to know what questions they have in regards to the problems that you help them solve. Once you know what questions they have, you will know what to write about in your blog or what to record videos about, just like I do for you here. Because this is one of the questions that attorneys and their marketing managers do ask us. Blogging doesn't really work, so we've tried to fail. Like, can you convince me of that otherwise? And we say, yes, we can, and here's how we do this, and here's why it works, and here's how it works. So you gotta make sure that you have a list of questions, and then you have to organize those questions in the following order. You think about the main, big, overarching question that your prospective clients have. I don't know what practice area you specialize in, so just think of like, what is the most common big question that they have, after which you can answer to them for more than 30 seconds, but more like 5 minutes, 10-minute answer, where you have to go in some depth and cover a number of smaller things. So that big question, the answer to that big question becomes what we call a pillar content. We call it pillar content because it is a pillar around which you're going to build a cluster of other smaller topics. So again, pillar content is something that encompasses a lot. This is a longer form blog post or a longer form video where you give a comprehensive answer with many smaller sub-subjects. And then you create cluster topics, and those are like smaller posts. And right now you don't need to write anything, just create the list. Big pillar content, and beneath it, smaller cluster topics that support that blog post. I'll explain in a moment why you do that. But this is a much more powerful structure, right? So when you organize it in such a way, what happens is you become an expert on that particular subject because you have more than one post, but you have a lot of comprehensive information. What you're going to do is you want to dominate that subject in Google. So when someone looks for an answer to their question as relates to the subject, you have all of the answers that anyone have possibly asked you. And the way you gather those questions is by following the conversation that you have with the client. You just write down the questions that they ask, and you write the answers to those questions in your blog, or you record videos and transcribe them, or whatever it is that you decide to do. By the way, video and written blog are more powerful than just video or just written blog on their own. So it's best to combine them, and I'll explain in a moment how to do it very easily. So You create pillar, and then you create cluster topics to support them. And once you publish them, you can cross-link them or create references between each other. And this is what you very often see in media sites anywhere, right? Anyone that produces content on a regular basis, you will see cross-links, a link from one post going to another post. And there are usually a few links here and there. And the reason why it's done is, as someone is looking for information, they're finding your information and they're reading it and they're like, oh, okay, there's another relevant subject, so I gotta read that. So they click on the link and then they later get back to it. So effective cross-linking makes your content more valuable. And the way Google looks at your content is, if it's valuable, people spend time on it, people spend time on your website. And that is a great indicator to Google that you're authority on the matter. And they're going to start showing your content to more and more and more people. And that is your goal, because when they do that, more and more people learn about your firm. And the more people learn about your firm and your expertise in any one of those subjects, the more of them are going to turn to you and say, hey, can you help me with this? Now, there is one caveat there, and that is a lot of people that are going to visit your blog, they're not ready to engage in a conversation with you. So you got to make sure that you get their contact information so you can help them by following up with more relevant topics. Those clusters, right? Those cluster topics that you create. Like someone goes to your website and they read an answer to their question, be it a pillar content that they read through and they found the relevant information, or topic cluster, smaller piece that they read through. If they're not ready to talk to you, you can give them a checklist or some sort of a downloadable at the end of the post. And that downloadable should be very easy to use and highly desirable. And in exchange for that downloadable, they'll give you their contact information. And with that contact information, you can follow up with very nice, easy to consume emails where you say, hey Sasha, thanks for downloading this. I thought this subject may also be of interest to you because they're related to this. So most of my clients who ask me about this also ask me about this, or at least should ask me about this. And you can create a series of posts that are going to be relevant to the people who are searching for the information. And that will set you apart as a subject matter expert. And through those emails, you will keep on bringing people back to your website, once again indicating to Google that you are the expert on the subject. And what Google does is it drives more and more traffic to experts' websites. So it's a self-fulfilling cycle. The more people come, the more people see the website, the more people come, even more people see the website, etc., etc. You gather their information, you present to them as an expert, more people come, more people are aware of you, more people will want to have a conversation with you and give you their trust and business. And that's the way that it's done. Now, to the how to make it easy, well, this is what we do. We talk to attorneys, we write down the questions that people ask, and then we write down, okay, here's the pillar, here's the cluster content, and then we record videos explaining each and every topic. And then we have content writers that will write up blog posts based on these videos. That's making it easier for me, so I do not have to spend exorbitant amount of time coming up with all of that content, because content writers, they love to write, and I'm a talker. I love to talk. I'm an expert on this subject, so I love to talk about this subject. So do this. It will tremendously help you grow your practice. But be mindful of the following. Success there is not going to happen overnight. It takes many months to start getting traction on Google, and you have to promote this content. So once you write it up, you can't just let it live there on your website. You have to make other websites aware of it. And for this, you actually need experts who will actually reach out to other websites and make sure that those other websites know of this content and will refer to this content. And the more referrals from their websites and blogs, etc., you have to your content, the more authority Google will keep on giving you. And the more authority it gives you, the more people will see your content. And the more people will see your content, the more clients you're going to get. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about this, I know this is somewhat of a complex subject, email me. It's Sasha, S-A-S-H-A, @comradeweb.com. Thanks.